Mm, 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 Welcome, welcome. Thanks for coming. We're in the book of Lamentations with a little poetry, a little music, a little prayer, a little talk. We're moving through the 3 weeks, we call them, between the narrows. And moving into the 9 days before Tisha B'Av, time of our grief. So we're dealing a lot with serious things. We try to keep it to a decent length so we don't stay too long. And also because we're getting old and we're tired by 9 o'clock, right?
Yeah. You know, it is
But
tonight, I think.
Oh.
Tonight, the new moon.
Well, I have to sing Shalom Aleichem then.
Yeah, it is the new moon because tomorrow will be the first day of Av, I
We'll
think.
open with that then.
Right. We start the 9 days tomorrow. It's a little too cloudy here. I'm sure we can't see the new moon tonight. But even when you can't see her, you know she's there. And I think that's true for so many things that we can't see, but we just know. We have to believe they're still there.
Shalom Aleichem, Malachi Ashari, Malachi Elyon, Malachi Harachamim, Mi Melech, Malachi Hamlechim. Kadosh Baruch Hu. Want to look at the Lamentations first?
Sure.
And then I can sing one of the verses.
Yeah, I think we should.
Chapter 2, verse 19. It's a big one.
Mm-hmm. So why don't we go right to there? We
Okay.
don't have to read the whole thing. Lamentations is really about lamenting the destruction of Jerusalem as a metaphor for lamenting destruction. And here in this verse, we cry out at night, because night is, at night there are no distractions. And, anybody who knows about grief or sadness, the nights are the worst time, because it's so quiet. And the thoughts that you're able to suppress during the day when you're busy, they come to haunt you at night. And so this is, this lament, these chapters of poetry are really a lament about the destruction. But as we've been saying, one of the big questions is, what's caused this destruction? And on the one level, we reject the notion that the destruction was a punishment by God because we just didn't follow the commandments, and as liberal Jews, as progressive Jews, we kind of reject that. But there's some truth to, if you take away the literalness of it, the destruction is the result of our sinning.
Bad behavior.
It really is. It's the result of the lack of love and putting life over all else, and being victims of a culture that's based on greed instead of gratitude and love and giving. So this destruction that we lament is a consequence.
No pain like my pain, says Jerusalem. My sighs are many, my heart is faint. Yeah.
So do you want to start with verse 19 and kind of sing it? Yeah. So just before that, though, their hearts cried out to God. Remember the wall. Remember how in Shira Shirin we talked about her, the wall, that the Shulamite woman, the woman of Jerusalem, she said, "You can't make a wall for me. I will make my own wall." She and here we have the wall of the daughter of Zion. And this, I think, is also a wall that happens in life when the pain is so great, the lament is so great. Once again, she puts up a wall to protect her broken heart. And of course, that's the metaphor, the metaphor for these 3 weeks is the breach of the walls of the city on the 17th of Tammuz, and how that led to the destruction of the city.
That my tears run like water, kanachal dim'a yomam v'layla, day and night. Fugat lach.
What do you think? Do not let your eyes be still. What is that?
Tidom. Tidom, be quiet. Tidom, silent. Bat enich. That's the batinich, is the pupil of your eye, I think.
Yeah. Are those the tears? Is that
Maybe
so that they keep
your eyes,
crying?
the way your eyes look around, dart around, that you're looking, you're still inquiring. Your eyes are not silent.
So this commentator says that that Lamentations is addressing the Shekhinah and suggesting that Israel has done her part by crying out to God, but now beseeches Chumat Bat Zion, the wall of the daughter of Zion, the Shekhinah, the protector, the wall of Zion, to shed tears and bring about redemption. And we know that the wall does shed tears, right? Right? The wall in Jerusalem sheds those tears, right? She does shed tears. So I think this is a really important image for so many of these books, and certainly for Jerusalem, the walls of the city.
Mm-hmm.
And remember how she became a wall. What are you doing?
I'm looking up an abbreviation here. I'll make sure it's correct.
Oh. Okay.
Must be Masoretic text. Okay. Yeah. Amazing. This verse in the 19th verse, chapter 2, verse 19. When we started singing it, remember, after 9/11.
Yeah.
That week. 20 years ago.
Yeah. Well.
21 years ago.
21. Well, yeah, 21.
We knew this text. I knew this text. This chapter 2, verse 19 is a very sad text. I knew the first two parts of it. The first three parts of it. No, the first two parts of it. I knew the first two parts of it. There's actually four parts to it. And I sang it that way for the first two parts of it for a long time. Let's take it apart. Kumi, Roni, Kumi, get up. Roni, sing. Balala, in the night. The Rosh Hashmurot, in the dark part of the night, one of the watches of the night. Maybe just 3 or 4 watches in the night. 3 watches in the night. So one of the dark watch of the night. It's the first part. Then the second part often gets its own melody. Shivchi chamayim libech, pour out your heart like water, chamayim. Nochach peneh, before the face of God. And that's as much as I knew, just off the top of my head when we started singing it. And we sang it this way. I know several different ones, but here's the way we started. I even recorded it once. שפכי חמיים, חמיים ליבך נוכח פני השם. So I sang it that way for a long time. Get up, sing in the night, at the dark part of the night, pour out your heart like water. And I always thought, well, maybe you'd pour out your heart like water, and then get up and sing in the night, like to split the darkness, with your voice, split your darkness with a song, that kind of idea. And then I realized one time I said, I should look and make sure I'm getting the verse correct. Yeah. So I looked it up and I saw there's a whole half of the verse I wasn't singing. And I read that it's an addition, that last part. The last one
makes sense though, right?
It follows, but it's an addition because it's 4 parts. Right. It's 4 parts doesn't fit the meter of the poem.
Right.
So, Se'i Elaych, lift up your hands, Al Nefesh, for the sake of the soul of your young children. And then this is the part that the Masoretic text added. Ha'atufim v'ra'av, starving from hunger.
Wow. Yeah.
On the top of every street, like you think that this is a far away and over there thing. It's on the top of every street. What calls you to grief and to action and to hurt is on the top of every street. It's not over there. It's here. It's right here. So lift up your hand for the sake of the soul of your young children. Not there, but here, every street.
Yeah.
Here's another version. I'll finish with that. See Elaych, nefesh olalai, atufi merav berosh kol chutzot. Here's the other one. Pour out your heart like water before God. Shivchi chamayim, chamayim libech, nochach pnei Hashem. Shivchi chamayim, chamayim libech, nochach pnei Hashem. Ya-da-da-da-da-da-da. Shivchi chamayim libech, nochach pnei Hashem. Some interesting melodies for a very heavy verse.
Yeah.
Ha'atufim v'ra'av.
Yeah, I mean, there's a real tradition of crying out. It's the groaning of the slaves that brings God into the story. It's Hagar crying out that saves her son, opens her eyes to the water to save her son. It's the crying out that saves, and the drawing in down of the Shekhinah, the hope. So there's the suffering, and then there's the I think maybe, Larry, the hope is the Shekhinah in the story that is drawn into, God is drawn into the story by the groaning, by the tears, by the pouring your heart out like water to bring, the Shekhinah's presence. Why? To save the young children who are starving at the top of every street.
I'm going to speak a poem I wrote called Dark Prayer for the Dark Times. Then ask God to release us from victimhood, to reconcile ourselves, smooth our trauma, release us from anger, place us in the center of history, then release us from the center of history. Move us from Yeshus, somethinghood, to Bittul, nothinghood. Then give us back to each other. Return to us spirits and souls. We've been bruised enough. Then ask God for forgiveness. We forgive who did these things to us. We forgive ourselves for the burdens of victimhood. Then give us back the present. Make a better future than the past we remember. Now we ask God for these things. Now we open our eyes onto the future. Celebration, strength, and peace without poison, hatred, baseless, and small-headed. Now the dark past we recall eclipsed by vision of the future. Now a gathering of grief into one time for all unkept dreams of life. Now in these days express, move through, say Amen.
Amen.
That's a good one.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I think that poem really speaks to the kind of the despair and the darkness of chapter 2. Chapter 2 really ends with that. The enemy has wiped out everyone. And we don't get released from the victimhood until we kind of go through it, So here's the path.
Odu
Gratitude.
Kiru
Out loud.
Shiru
Sing it. Swing it.
Sihu
Talk about it.
Heat Hallelujah
Praise.
Dear Shu
Use your mind.
Zichru.
Remember.
Hallelujah, 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 hallelujah. Oh, on my word, justice and mercy to the sweet singer waiting. You might wait a long time. Here's a river along the way you will drink. To the poet waiting, you lift up your head. By your right hand, you might have to smack up kings. Judge nations full with flesh. Oh, the great earth. Oh, do.
Gratitude.
Kiru.
Out loud.
Shiru. Sichu.
Talk.
Hitalaloo.
And then praise.
Dear Shu.
Find yourself in the story.
Zicharu.
And then you will remember.
Tizachar et var kocho.
That holy word.
Hallelujah, hallelujah, hallelujah.
Praise God. So tonight we leave Tammuz and we enter into Av and the 9 days that will take us to Tisha B'Av, the saddest day of the Jewish year. And as we make our way through, we have to hope that it will deliver us to a sweeter shore.
So should we close with the prayer of the hands?
Sure. Always good.
We close with a moment of quiet. Remembering our teachers, inspirations, influences, all our relations, our beloveds. Take your thumb now and run it up and down your heart line. Now take your hands And put them together against your chest like Anjali Mudra. Then take your left hand and set it within your right hand, as in the Zohar. Feel it on your chest. Feel your physical and spiritual union at your heart line. Take a moment for gratitude. Hold your hands away from yourself in a posture of blessing. Palms out. Spread your fingers. Now turn your palms up like the 5-petaled rose, the opening intention of the Zohar, posture of receiving. You may drop your hands. Leave a moment for the silent expectation for peace. Peace of the near and peace of the far. The upper worlds and lower worlds will find each other. But don't leave me alone. Take a deep breath. Exhale on. Amen. Thanks for coming.
And we can also say Shabbat Shalom. Chodesh Tov, Shabbat Shalom, and 9 more days.
So we'll be back again on Monday night.
Yep.
And then Thursday night.
Mm-hmm.
That might be it. Because then Tish B'Av, I think, is Sunday.
So maybe we'll do something.
Yeah, maybe we'll figure it out. We'll let you know next week.
Right.
Maybe we'll conclude on Tisha B'Av. Thanks for joining us. We appreciate it. Bye-bye.